millions of Americans, a short-term medical emergency can lead to long-term debt. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Craig Antico. He is CEO and co-founder of RIP Medical Debt. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Jill.
Let's talk a little bit about medical debt in this country. 1 in 5 U.S. residents has delinquent medical debt on their credit reports.
Yeah, and even right in Philly, you have one of the lowest percentages-wise. It's still a tremendous amount of people because you have 8 million people in your viewing area, so it's a lot of people. But about 15% here have medical debt on their credit report, which is over $1.2 billion here alone in Philly.
And that's a challenge for people on an individual level when they're talking about living their lives, still trying to work, still trying to pay down this debt. It may have been a short-term medical emergency, but they could be living with a chronic condition as well, still trying to pay down that medical debt.
That is very true. I mean, that's one of the biggest problems, is that people are going 3, 4, 5, 7 times to the doctor and then going to the emergency room if they can't really afford to go to the doctor.
And let's talk about where your organization can step in. You buy and forgive medical debt. How does that model work?
It's really wild. My partner and I, Jerry Ashton, we were collectors. So we used to collect on these kinds of accounts. Jerry's one of the best collectors you'll see. And we now changed it to where we buy the debt from a hospital or a doctor's group or even an investor, because you can buy and sell people's debt. It's like crazy. And then we, instead of collecting it, we wipe it out. Now you have to meet certain criteria for us to wipe it out. You can't be wealthy and not spending very much on medical care and have us wipe it out as a gift. You have to have, say, low income. So if you have 2 times the federal poverty level and below, which is about $10,000 a person, maybe $12,000 a person, or if you're spending more than 5% of your income on medical out-of-pocket expenses.
And those are some guidelines as it relates to the qualifications, but you can purchase debt by location, you've purchased debt by diagnoses, but you've had a particular focus on veterans as well?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we really go where our donors go. If they want us to buy debt of a particular area, we'll buy debt. Like we've bought about $3 million of debt here in the Philly area, for example. If a person comes to us and says, we want to help military or first responders, we'll go find that debt. We've actually found, if you can believe this, we're just about to announce, or I'm going to announce on your show, Jill, that we're abolishing $50 million of medical debt for our veterans. So it's extremely exciting for us. And that came out of an incredible donation from one person, actually, that donated over $2.1 million, and we're using a bunch of that money to abolish military medical debt.
And with that, $50 million in military debt that will be abolished this year alone. That is added to $120 million in medical debt for about 60 million Americans that you've been able to abolish. We just have a short time left, but you look for individual donors and corporate donors in order to add up to make a difference to abolish debt. Individuals don't necessarily apply for this. You do this as a gift.
Yeah, we do. 70% of the money that we raise comes from individuals like you and me. And what they love is that you can give $10 and it'll abolish $1,000 of debt. So, a $10,000 donation abolishes $1 million. So it's tremendous impact on the people and on the donor. They get to say, I've abolished $10 million of debt.
Thanks so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
We've been talking with Craig Antico. I'm Jill Horner.